cat in a box. You'll never know what's inside until you open it. Oh, hello, Helen. Alright, time to go over the plan. Make sure to take notes. Our objective is the Beacon Control Center. It's Lydia's precious pearl, said to be the biggest one on Earth. As one of the major control hubs for Yellow Zone communications, getting into the beacon here requires the highest level of administrator access. Trying to crack it from the outside would require mil-spec hardware, manpower, and several months. So we'll be sneaking into the beacon control center? That's right. See this little device over here? Zoe made it beforehand. All we need to do is plug it into the beacon control center, and Bugs will be able to access it remotely. As for the rest, we can leave it to Zoe. Got it. That was a real simple plan. Non. The plan is simple, but the execution is tricky. We cannot be discovered too early, so a direct assault is right out. Now, I believe we've been dumped in a warehouse somewhere. First, we get out. Suddenly, their crate shakes. It seems someone is moving it. Why is the crate moving again? Darling One said that no plan survives first contact with the enemy, so we're better off calming down and resolving the issue. Shh. Listen, there's someone talking outside. Boss, I've got the crate. I've already scouted the route from here to the beacon control center. I can get there in 5 minutes without anyone noticing me. The corporate henchman has successfully snuck into Connection Corp's HQ because he's pretending to be Mr. Carl's bodyguard. Nobody has given him any trouble. He's made very thorough preparations, such as buying the guards off and finding blind spots in the security camera network. All obstacles in his way have been eliminated. And now, his mission has officially begun. The henchman loads a heavy crate onto a trolley and pushes it toward the most distinctive tower on the premises. Said tower is a beacon control center, the signature structure of Connection's HQ. For security reasons, normal employees are not allowed to so much as approach it. However, this fact ends up playing right into the henchman's hands. Driven by visions of wealth, he exerts himself harder than ever before as he deftly maneuvers the crate past all the sensors and security cameras in his way. Finally, he reaches a solid metal door. Greetings, your voice print ID, please. Clearly, mere picks will not work on the sophisticated electronic lock. Going around doesn't seem practical either. It seems this is the hurdle he must overcome to get to the beacon control center. With no other resource, the thug pulls out his communicator. Boss, I ran into a bit of trouble. I can't open the door leading to the beacon control center. It needs a voice print ID. Can you help me out, boss? Carl snaps his fingers in what seems to be a casual gesture. However, it is a coded signal meaning affirmative. He happens to be having a casual chat with Lydia at the moment. Naturally, the latter hasn't noticed a micro transceiver tucked behind Carl's ear. Here's to you, Mr. Carl. Thank you for your gift. They clink their glasses, and Carl downs the contents of his glass in one gulp. Mere trifle. It's been a pleasure working with you, Lydia. The location services you provided last time helped me make a tidy sum. In fact, it was a critical factor in earning my superior's trust. I also see many opportunities in you. Many opportunities in you? Which is why we should continue working together. I can assure you of an ever-increasing stream of returns in the future. Of course, I believe you will keep your word. Do you believe in me or the person behind me? There's a slight edge to Carl's words. They both know how the outside world views Carl, that he is a failed playboy, a stray dog that Mr. Zimmerman took in for old time's sake. Mr. Carl, you were born in the White Zone, weren't you? What do you think of the Yellow Zone? I see many opportunities here. Oh, but the look on your face betrays what you really think. Indeed, this is a place where crude and barbaric people gather. But they are only crude and barbaric because instead of pursuing higher education and more refined goals, they spend their time finding food in the wilderness and keeping their families from freezing to death. Should I praise their tenacity then? They don't need our praise or our table scraps. If they had the same network access as the people in the green or even the white zones, if they had their education, they might be more pleasing to your eyes. My father once thought of working with the corporations to develop telecommunications services in the Yellow Zone, allowing its residents to enjoy basic communications free of charge. However, he was turned down. If I'm not wrong, back then he was rejected by the Gerard Group, the one your father worked for. My father was a conservative man, I believe. I'm not saying that to put you on the spot. What I'm trying to say is that once certain people make enough money, they feel guilty and try to make amends through charity, but that's just a way to balance out their gains. What is needed to change the current state of affairs is not mere benevolence, but a true opportunity. When such an opportunity presents itself, not even the corporations can ignore it. Also, I must thank you for demonstrating vision and decisiveness beyond that of your father. Not every young master of the White Zone would come to Port Mica, so I am glad to work with you, no matter who your backer might be. Carl stares hard into Lydia's eyes, hoping to see a crack in her noble facade. However, Lydia's mask is impenetrable. What do you think of Port Mica? It's a nice place. It's quite prosperous for a small border town. This HQ facility, for example, already matches the standards of green zones or even higher. When my father was in charge, this was not the case. The mayor was corrupt and pocketed a lot of tax money. He bribed the URNC commissioner and cut back on the public security budget, which led to high crime rates. Therefore, after I inherited my father's business, I got rid of that mayor and took control of all municipal affairs here. After that, this place became what it is now. I started by solving basic issues like water, electricity, and healthcare, then security. I believe there is only one aspect that hasn't been properly dealt with. And what is that? Education. Education? While I disagreed with my father on many things, I believe as he did that education can change people and places. If this joint venture is successful, I would like to open a lifelong learning school here. There are many orphans in Port Mica. There ought to be a place to take them in and turn them into useful people. You like children? I loathe them. Then it seems we are of one mind. I guess I misread you. I held the impression that you like kids very much. Well, it's for business reasons. Taking those brats out of circulation will lower security costs and ensure a supply of cheap workers in the future. Such foresight, I could stand to learn from your vision. And now, a toast to Lydia, and to the Port Mica we shall witness. Their glasses clink and Carl downs yet another drink. He's going through them a little too quickly. Back then, I thought I'd drown in the depths, but that person saved me. Not only did that person give me a second life, but they also persuaded Uncle Zimmerman to give me a second chance. After meeting that person, I realized just how shallow and dissipated I was. Though they were younger than me, they shone so much more brightly. I couldn't help but bend the knee to that great leader's charisma. It is good to hear. Therein lies an implication that all of us have the potential for a glorious future. Now that I have been granted a new lease of life, I don't care what people call me. Let them label me a dog of Mr. Zimmerman or a lowly criminal. I only wish to devote myself to a greater cause. The profligate of the past is dead. I don't need to hide my wasted life with a glamorous facade. I simply want to climb over ever higher and see sights I've never seen before. And I must thank you for that, Lydia. You are my second savior, an angel descending from the heavens. You flatter me, Carl. But I mean it, every word. When the airborne beacon takes flight tomorrow, Lydia, you will accomplish something that even the conglomerate could not. Many companies have been working on airborne beacons, but only Connections has passed the URNC's rigorous trials and met the standards for use in the Yellow Zone. That is truly remarkable. Really now. Come now, such modesty is unbecoming. You know better than I do that this is a great opportunity to change the face of communications in the Yellow Zone. On the one hand, the purification projects, frontier development companies, and various corporations are all eager to expand the boundaries of communications. Connections signal coverage encompasses all of theirs. This flips the balance of supply and demand and places the initiative during negotiations in our hands. On the other hand, aerial beacons can create an unprecedented intelligence advantage in complex conditions. That means the military would be desperate to acquire it. Just like... By now, you know how much I need you, right? Just tell me, Carl, what do you want me to do for you? I want you to get rich. I want you to build more signal beacons, and then I want you to build them into a worldwide system. That will take time. Currently, they can only be produced at Port Mika, and we need the radiation conditions of the Yellow Zone to build and test the engine systems. The cost to construct similar production lines in other areas will be massive. Lydia, you still don't consider me a true friend. Carl fills another glass, then downs the whole thing. As you know, I have ample funding and manpower that I can share with you. Money is always useful. If you invest in me, it will help convince my shareholders to raise production and our coverage. And that's why I'm here. The conglomerate would like a share of the profits, a sizable share to be sure, but they will match it with an equally sizable outlay. Lydia smiles. This is exactly the kind of situation she's been hoping for. Whoever Carl's backer is, Carl is mortally afraid of failing them, or perhaps failing them again. That suits her just fine. Lydia needs money, and she's not picky about where it comes from. It seems a great partnership is in the cards for us. The climate now isn't too suitable for a deal, but we can celebrate in advance. Yes, let's celebrate. They clink glasses again. Carl is having trouble controlling his hand, and he very nearly smashes both glasses with that gesture. After tipping his head back and finishing the glass, he shakily rises to his feet and walks over to the wine rack by the window. I like this wine, Lydia. May I crack it open? Oh? That's a 46% cognac. Are you sure you can handle it? Are you kidding me? Do I look drunk? I'm just so happy, and then, with such a view unfolding before her, Lydia finds herself relaxing for the first time in a long while. She can set aside all her meticulous calculations and watch a man engaging in pointless bravado, just like on the summer nights when she was but a student. Well, my drinks are there to entertain my friends. I'm no Scrooge. Go ahead, open it. Open it. Carl's ears catch that phrase. He knows his earpiece has also captured it. Did he do it? He can hear cheering and the sounds of fireworks, the sound of women squealing in delight, the sound of his father applauding him from the stage. He pops a bottle of champagne, and foam bursts from the brim. He celebrates with all his might, celebrating his cruise liner weighing anchor at sea. He started to get tired. The ceiling spins overhead like helicopter blades. Then he closes his eyes and lets himself fall into darkness. The corporate henchman presses the communicator against a code lock, and then he finally hears those words. Open it. The metal door flashes a green light and opens. The henchman breathes a sigh of relief. He's done it! We did it, boss! The door's open! There's no response from the other side of the communicator, only a barely audible glug-glug sound. It seems Carl has given his all to achieve his aims. A tragic determination wells up in the henchman's heart. There, he makes a solemn vow to succeed. And so, the henchman pries the crate open. Surprise! With a melodious exclamation. Of course, this too appears. Oh. Do I see something? There's a crate on the right side. What the hell is this guy? Okay. We got Zydoman over here. Okay. There's gotta be something here. No one is sitting there. No one is also sitting there. There's a box here. Nope, unfortunately that's not it. I don't think it's here. So I guess this is just a normal fight. Alright. I have to be mean. So, what kind of problems did you say we might face? Let me see. There's none at all. Thanks for bringing us in, you right dumbass. Yes! I get to say dumbass in Girls 1 and 2. Let's go. Basti kicks the unconscious corporate henchman aside, then heads over to the densely packed machinery inside the beacon control center. Hello? Zoe, are you there? Did you fall asleep? No, she's in Resident Evil 7. I'm here. The bugs are ready and waiting. The rest is up to you, so hurry and make your steps, Twinkle Toes. It's just hacking the firewall of the Yellow Zone's biggest telecom provider. You'll be fine. Given what we have gathered, You've probably been caught up in a terrorist attack. Contrary to Sweeper's claim, it's not targeted at the Dahl community or the commander. Do you have any guesses as to who the attacker might be? It was probably those two dolls who sat opposite us. That wicked little blondie is probably capable of any and all manner of evil deeds. Doesn't seem like it to me. They're too high profile. If you ask me, that pickpocketing brat from yesterday is a more likely suspect. I heard her voice over the loudspeakers before the power cut out. Zoe would never do bad things like that. You're even calling her by name. Are you friends with her or something? I just know, okay? And besides, it would be really hard for a kid to get explosives like this. Oh, you sweet, sweet summer child, Paitusa. Let's try to think more simply. We stole these items from the auction lot warehouse. Isn't the auction organizer the most likely suspect? Lydia, but she's already the sovereign of Port Mika. Who would she want to attack? Alright, stop fighting. I have a new clue here. I checked the logistics movement info for Port Mika. Most of the gods have complete documentation from their points of origin, so mixing contraband in is difficult. While the small scale makes managing things easier, the fact that the security here is on the level of green zones is quite remarkable. However, there is one exception to this. Last night, a vehicle from the outside entered Port Mika without any form of vetting or inspection. My guess is that's the source of those explosives. Oh, a shining beacon has appeared to pave a brave new world. If we can determine the origins of that vehicle, we'll be able to learn the true identity of the forces of darkness. That's what I was thinking. However, we didn't manage to learn much. All we know is that it was a delivery truck registered to Molnia Logistics. Oh, Sakura is involved again. The owner's name is Sakura. Uh-oh. Achoo! It's not often that you see a doll sneezing. I heard that people sneeze when others talk behind their backs. Could the commander be missing me? Or maybe someone's putting your name on a wanted list. Ha ha ha! How could that be? Senpai, you're such a kidder, and a bad one at that. You are kidding, right? Who knows? I am fully prepared for you to get struck by any and all kinds of bad luck. Well, it's true that this mission was very sudden, but all the packages we have delivered so far have been perfectly normal. Let's wrap this up quick and head back to the commander's place. Don't bother looking for her. The three of us came to Port Mika on Sakura's truck. There is a long silence from the other side of the line. So you're saying Sakura is an ex-Griffin doll? Now that you mention it, I think Springfield mentioned this before. That poor girl. I've never heard Helen sound so tired before. Alright, I'm going to place my trust that you didn't take some kind of blow-up Port Mika mission. Looks like the real criminal didn't leave any obvious incriminating evidence behind. In that case, it means they must have their own avenues for bringing items in. Apart from government channels, the only other ways are through such FAB-N and connection. No, you cannot get involved any further with this matter. I think the best way to handle the situation is to alert the local administration and then return to the community now. So, we'll be contacting Lydia? Yes, she can do much more than you. You need her help. But if she reacts badly, if she doesn't want to help solve the problem, then things might be worse than we imagine. If that happens, you need to get away immediately and destroy the explosives in the wilderness. Bear in mind that these explosives can cause tremendous damage. So you need to be careful. I'm going to inform the commander now and have her send some help over. So keep the comms channel clear. After Helen hangs up, Defh looks down at the communicator in her hand, unsure what to do next. This kind of pisses me off. So she's sending someone over? What, she doesn't think we can handle it ourselves? She's such a chundre. We can't, can we? Looks like we'll have to inconvenience Helen and the commander. I'm no hero. I'm just a great big dork. Don't think that way, Defh. Thanks to us, they have a chance to stop something terrible from happening. Doesn't that count as a hero's work too? Actually, I think the commander might praise us now. Yeah. Let's go contact that Lydia lady right now. That way we'll be able to resolve this crisis. But how can we contact her? I don't think we have her number or anything. I think she said she was in charge of all of Port Mika. In other words, we should be able to reach her eventually no matter who we contact. That makes sense, strategist? Defh takes out the services brochure that the hotel gave them. There's an emergency contact number on it. Defh starts by calling the emergency hotline. Hello? Is something the matter? Hello, I'd like to speak to Lydia, please. Lady Lydia, if you want a job, you can just call Connection. The other side hangs up on her. Defh soon finds a customer service hotline for Connection. Greetings, how can I help you today? I'm looking for Lydia. Can you put me through to Lydia? I apologize, but we cannot provide such services. If you would like to arrange a meeting with the CEO, please file an official meeting request through the business department. Once it is approved, you will need to provide a complete list of assets and identification. After that, you will have to wait for the CEO secretary to contact you to discuss the details of the meeting. Jesus fucking Christ. Wait a minute, that's too many steps. I can't remember all that. What was the first step again? That would be filing an official meeting request through the business department. How do I contact them? Oh, they're off work now. You'll have to wait until tomorrow and try again. That's no good. We can't wait that long. Who else is still around? Give me all the reachable numbers you have.